Hi, my name is Tom, and today I'm going to be talking with my daughter Hanna about how to pick route choices for easy classes like 10 years old, 12 years old maybe even 14. But before we jump into our conversation, I want to mention two things. First of all, if this is your first time into this channel, please be aware that this is a channel for orienteering, a beautiful sport where you're running with a map and compass, and we are all here to learn but also have some fun along the way, so please enjoy. Second of all, this is the first video that I'm recording with Hanna, and I'm just wondering whether there is room for this kind of content on this channel. Are there people that want to watch it? Are you going to share this video with your kids or youth? Are they happy to watch it? Do they enjoy it? Please take some time to let me know in a comment, because we can put more content like this, talking with some youth as well. But I need to know whether there is really an audience for this kind of content. So I will really appreciate any kind of feedback from you. Thank you so much. And now off we go into our conversation. See you later. Hi, this is Tom from Into the Forest I Go, and today I'm with my daughter Hanna.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking about picking the right route choices in easy courses. So the courses we will be talking about are mostly 10 categories, so men and women 10, men and women 12, sometimes men and women 14. I mean, all of those will probably be applicable, although in the 14th category you will also find probably harder route choices, which we will tackle in one of the other videos. So this one is for younger runners, for those that are starting with orienteering and want to figure out what are the principles of picking the right route choice. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. We've had a race today, and based on that race, we're going to do the analysis, and during the analysis, we will do our best to point out all the important aspects of the route choices that Hanna has picked, but we will also do the pure and true analysis, taking into account all the mistakes that she has made, so that we can also learn from them, and she can learn from them, obviously. All right, so let's get straight into the map and talk about what has happened today during the race. All right, so this is Hanna's map from today. The course is a little bit less than 2 kilometers, correct?
Yes, it's 1 kilometer and 900 meters.
Okay, and we're going to show you how Hanna ran the course. This is my pointer, it's just a piece of plastic that we found lying around, and Hanna has a different pointer, it's a piece of plant that we found lying around. So that's how we usually do our analysis when we are still on site and we don't have access to live logs or any other tool for analysis. Anyway, Hanna, so you started the race, you had like 100 to the triangle, so you had some time to read the map at the beginning. How far into the course have you been able to analyze what's ahead of you?
So actually I had a problem because I didn't know what routes to pick. I was running here and I was like, I didn't know if I want to go here or there, and I had to think about it, and I came to a conclusion that I'll go here. Because here you have to go back a little bit, so so that's it. I didn't analyze anything else.
Okay.
When I was running.
What was the rest of the plan to number one?
Well, the rest of the plan I was just running here, and then I wanted to turn here, there, and here. At first I wanted to go there, but I saw how long it is, so I found this road, and I wanted to go there.
Okay, and you had no troubles finding this one in terrain?
Well, actually, I didn't see this road.
Okay.
This big road. I was running along this one, I came here, and I didn't see this road, but I saw this one, and I was pretty sure that it's it, because I saw like this little road over here, and then this.
Okay.
It didn't go to my road, but it was there. So I was pretty sure it's that road, but I was running very carefully to not like miss this one, this crossing. I was running carefully, and I ran here, but I didn't miss it. So I turned right and I ran here, and here something very strange happened, because I was like here and I wanted to go along the gully, but I saw another like gully or something like this. I think it was like here somewhere, and there was a semi-road over there. I think it wasn't a road. It just looked like it, but I didn't know if it's my road or not. The compass was like, well, maybe. The compass didn't show it that it was in the right direction, but it was almost in the right direction. So I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to lose a lot of time. So I just set a compass to this big road, and I just ran here. And actually, I set a compass like to this direction, and I ran into my road.
Okay.
I ran into my road, so it has to be like here. The road, the semi-road that I saw, it had to be like here, cause I ran like there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then I ran down here to the big road.
Right, and then the control was easy to find?
I was running here.
Did you read the
along
contours
this.
properly? Did you know that the control is at the top of the hill?
Yes, and I ran a little bit to the left, but then I saw the control, so I.
Okay, so this is the first important part of picking the right route choices in easier categories. You of course have to use the linear elements, right? So these will be paths, bigger roads. There will also be vegetation boundaries. There will also be erosion gullies, right? We have short ones over here, but if you have a long one, it's also very easy to follow. We don't have a visible or distinguished vegetation boundary over here, but here you could probably also follow the green, right? So all the linear features that you can easily follow are usually very, very good choices to navigate by. Also, the gullies, if you are able to read the contours, they are also pretty decent, right? Especially in the terrain where they are very visible, the forest is wide, and it's easy to follow them.
There was the terrain.
Yeah, so before we move to number 2, I have one question to you. So you were running over here, and you said that you were running slowly because you were afraid to miss this crossing, right? What was a thing that could have let you run a little bit faster with more confidence?
I think that if I would run into this, I think it's like, what's that? I can't see what's like.
It's a nerve bank. It's a nerve bank along the gully.
Yeah, so if I would run into the nerve bank on the right,
I think.
On the left.
I'm actually not sure. Maybe it's just a thicker contour.
Maybe. I don't know. But,
anyway, doesn't really matter.
I think that if I would knew what is this and I would run into it, then I would like stop. I missed the crossing, right?
Okay. Well, so actually no. So what I was aiming at is that right before the crossing, the terrain starts to go down. Right after the crossing. Right after this crossing that you're going to, the terrain is going down, right? From here, from this point on, the terrain is going down along the gully, right? So you kind of know that as long as it's flat, you're good. If you start running down and you see that you're entering the gully, you're not good anymore, right? And that's a stopping point for you. And that's the thing I want to point out, that you should always be looking for elements that are going to tell you that you're already too far. You're following a linear feature like this one, you're following a road, and you're searching for a crossing, and if you're afraid that this crossing is missable, it's easy to miss, then always search for elements that will tell you, oh, I'm a little bit too far, so maybe I have to go back, right? Sometimes it's a gully like here, or a change in contours in general. Sometimes it might be another small feature next to the road, like a rootstock maybe, maybe a small hill, maybe a denser forest, right? Maybe an opening in a forest. So these are the things that you have definitely to look for. All right, let's go to number 2.
Okay, so when I was running up to number 1, I already saw that I have to go immediately back to the road. So I punched the control and I ran down to the road again. And my plan was to just go along this road, catch these roads because I saw them earlier, and then catch these roads. And when I will see this road or this one, but this one is more visible, then just ran into the forest and look for this like big. Well, mine was on a knoll.
It was like a big pit.
Yeah, it
right?
was a big pit, but mine was like up.
But because there are 2 small gullies at the top. See, 2 tiny gullies.
Like
it was what?
A knoll? No.
Owl?
No, Daddy.
So what? A knoll?
Yeah.
You mean a knoll?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't look like a knoll, but There is a nose between the gullies here. Let's check your description. No, your description says a gully. Number 2 is in a gully, so I don't know. It should be in a gully. You've punched the right control, right?
Yes, I did. Oh, you had it right?
We've managed to make our cameraman laugh. All right, yeah, so I think, again, for your category, it was a decent route choice. What was the alternative?
I didn't have an alternative.
Okay, so this control is...
I was sure that I'd see that.
Is it up or down when you look at the contours?
It's up,
It's
and I
up,
knew that.
right?
I knew that.
So,
Yes.
is it a viable option to go up here and along the contours?
Well, yeah.
Would you say that running along the contours is also following a linear feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, right? Especially if the contours are that distinguishable, like here, they're close to one another. Behind the contours, there is also almost flat ground, right? So it's easy to follow this because basically you just have to follow the edge of the terrain that is going down, right? So that was also a viable option, but I'm not saying it was better. I'm just saying that it's there, right? Yours was probably faster. All right, number 3.
Number 3, I didn't look at anything. I just ran down to the road, and then I already saw this hill and this little hill too. Well, not the little one, but there's a bigger one. And I saw, I think this was a gully here between them. I saw this gully, so I just ran right, and the control was there.
Okay, so here basically the important element that is worth pointing out is that with time you have to be able to read the contours, right?
Yeah.
If you're a beginner runner, then obviously the contours might be a little bit of a challenge, but orienteering races are usually organized in a terrain where the contours are quite visible, right? So even here, this terrain is not super difficult, it's not very interesting.
Yeah.
For an elite runner would probably not be very happy to run over here if it was a major competition, but for the competition that was organized for children, this is a pretty good terrain, right? And even this one has some contours that you have to be able to follow if you want to be successful, right? So for example, going to number 1, it makes a big difference to know whether the control is in the gully down somewhere or somewhere at the top at the ridge or at the hill, right? Like here at the hill. So it makes a difference. All right, let's go to number 4 then.
Okay, so number 4, I ran to the road here, and then I set the compass for this road. There was actually like there was a road, but it wasn't on a map, so it was little, but there was
maybe
like
it was an extension of this one. There is some small, maybe it was connecting.
Yeah, maybe. But I ran somewhere here, and then I just ran left over here, and I wanted to run to here, but then I realized that I need to run to this. I need to run from this road to my control. It's the easiest, so I just ran here to the big crossing, and I picked the right path. I checked like twice if it's the right path, because if it wasn't the right path, then I'll be screwed. So I checked it rapidly, and it was the right path, and then I just ran over here, and I saw the control
from the road.
From the road, but I thought that I'll see just this pit and then on my control, but I saw it like from here. It was so shiny that.
Okay, good. So this leg shows us very clearly another element which is very important, and that's the attack point, right? So you figured that it doesn't make sense to go along this path because then it's difficult to attack the control from here. It's actually better to go a little bit further into this path, but then the control is almost for free because you just have to follow either find the pit that is right next to your control, or just follow the erosion gully, which at least according to the map is touching the path.
Yeah, and it was very visible. It was touching the path, and it was very visible.
So the attack point was super easy from over here. For older categories, of course you would go from here, right, straight to the control. But for the 12 category, I think it's a good route choice to go from over here and just make sure that you don't miss it, especially as today's race was a relay, so every mistake really counts, and you wanted to take safe route choices rather than risky ones, correct?
Yes.
All right. Number 5.
Number 5, I just wanted to set the compass. That was the plan, just set the compass and run. But I saw like these lines from
Tapes.
Yeah,
right?
these tapes. I saw them. They were so shiny. They were bright. So I just ran in the right direction, and I ran into the control. I knew where it is.
Yeah. So a short explanation. There was a taping done from here to here because this was a mandatory crossing through the arena, let's say. And even before the race, we already told everybody that this control is right at the end of tapes. So just search for tapes. Pick the right direction, search for tapes. So that one was easy. This was a spectator's run through, so that was easy as well. Let's talk about number 7.
Okay, so to number 7, I didn't want to go like through here. I really didn't. At first, I didn't know what to do, but then I just set my compass. I was running along, not like that, not like here at the control, but I was running like more along this, Yeah.
Along the contour?
Yeah, along the contour, yeah. I was running along the contour over here, and I ran into this road, and I crossed it, and then there was my control over there. Actually, I stopped for a bit here, because I thought that maybe it's good, but I didn't see the road. So I was like, no, I think not, and then I looked up, and I saw the road, and I just ran, and there was my control right after it.
Okay. What would you say was the most difficult part of this leg?
The most difficult part was that you didn't have like a very visible feature to follow.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could follow to this control.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Right. So in this kind of situation, you first of all need to be able to identify perfectly what that control is at, right? Because you're not only searching for the control now, you're also searching for the feature which the control is at. So that always helps, right? And of course, picking the route choice by the compass was absolutely right over here. You said you ran a little bit down here.
Yes.
Was it intentional? You aimed down here so that you know that you have to climb up, or was it because
No,
of
it wasn't down. It was like I was running to this point, and then I just like.
Okay, then you
here.
corrected.
Yeah, I corrected.
Okay.
I didn't run all the way down.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Let's move to the next one. It looks also quite challenging.
Yeah, I did a mistake over here because like it wasn't the usual scale, and I didn't really feel where I am. So I was running, of course, along these contours here because at first I wanted to find this road.
Yep.
But I ran here and I didn't see it, and I saw this control.
Okay.
The last one, and I was like, well, I'm just like I was
Did you like
here.
run to it? How did you know it's your last
No.
one?
Well, because there were tapes.
Oh, there were tapes.
Yeah, there
Good,
were tapes
good.
to the.
Good thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew it was my last control, but I didn't see the road still, and I was a little too far because I was like here, and there was no road. I didn't cross the road. Well, I did, of course, but I didn't see it. So I just thought of another idea very quickly, and I ran down to this big drop. So I ran here, and I was running along this, along, and at one point I was like, I think it should be here, and I was a little confused because I didn't see anything like a big pit, because this is a big pit too,
yeah.
and I didn't see anything like that here, and I was a bit confused. I stopped for a moment, I looked, but then I figured that, well, I just have to go. It's not here, so I just have to go on, and I was going for a bit, and I thought I'm definitely too far, but then I saw a control, and I was like, wait. And I didn't see a pit. It wasn't in the pit.
Yeah, this one was sticking out a little bit.
This one was sticking out, and I think that's not mine, but I don't really know where I am. If it's not mine, then I don't know where I am, so I ran to it, and it was mine.
Yeah, so this one was sticking out a little bit. The thing that you could have been looking for was this wall of a little bit greener forest.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
It's not very visible on the map, so it's just light greens, right? So it might be dangerous to search for it, but it actually was visible in the forest.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but I didn't figure out it's that. Well, I thought it's that, but I wasn't sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, the good decision to follow the contours since you didn't find the path. Actually, this path didn't help you too much as well. So even if you would find it, it wasn't really anything that was worth aiming for. So going along the contours and then just figuring out what will tell me when I'm too far, right? Again, this, right? What's this?
These
black dots, what are these?
Um,
Looks like a stony ground to me, right? So some stones on the ground.
I think it's like yellow here.
Yeah,
I think it's a clearing in the forest.
Oh, it might be a clearing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a clearing.
So if it's a clearing, then it's another thing that could be helpful,
Yeah.
right? You just run into the clearing and I'm like, okay, now I'm too far. Also, you could just run a little bit up away from the contours to check if there
Yeah.
is a road nearby, if it's the road very close by, right? So here there is no road, but here there is, right? So again, you will know that you're too far. So pushing forward was probably the smartest idea along the contours.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, last one, right? Because number 10 is super easy.
Well,
so,
yeah. So here I wanted to run here to this road and then just to the control. I actually I didn't do that because I set the compass and I think I ran a little bit to the left. So I ran over here and I was practically at the crossing. So I just ran to this road and I saw the control. It wasn't in the pit.
Yeah, it wasn't very hidden.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't very hidden. So I saw it, but I wanted to go like that, and I was going like that, right?
Okay. All right. Good job then. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so let's summarize that. The things that are the most important when it comes to picking route choices for, let's say, your categories, right?
Yeah.
I think that number one would be linear features, right?
Yes.
Always follow linear features as they are available, somewhere close to the route choice, right?
Yes.
They definitely
Yes.
help a lot.
They do.
If you go along the linear features, what is another thing that you want to remember?
Well, you need to find something that will stop you if you go too far.
Right, so that's another important aspect. Another one is it's always good to search for a second element. So if you're following one element, always look if there is another element around that will like help you figure out how far you've already gone, right? So even if you're going along the road for 500 meters, you don't want to just be running forward. You want to control where you are at the moment and just cross out like small parts of the route so that you know that you're progressing and you're getting closer and closer and closer, right?
Yes.
Now, if you don't have any linear features to use, then you have to rely on your compass, don't you?
Well, yeah.
Right?
You have to.
So if you have to rely on a compass, then you also have to know how to set the map properly with the compass and how to follow the compass when you leave your linear features, right? So that's definitely another skill that you have to have if you already have controls outside of your linear features, right? Another important thing is to always find the attack point, right? Especially on longer routes. So sometimes you also had these legs that were like 100 meters, 150 meters. So if there is a short leg like this, sometimes the attack point is not really that important, depending on what's the difficulty of the terrain. But most of the time, picking the attack point is definitely something that we would recommend to have. And I think last one element that I want to really emphasize in this video is something that is probably the most important of all. And this is something that you should always have, and that is the plan. So I'm always teaching Hanna that before you start running, you need to figure out how you want to run this leg. You need to have the plan so that you can later on follow the plan. And you've probably already heard that when, for example, we were talking about the leg from 7 to 8, she had a plan, go to the path, but then she didn't find the plan, so she modified her plan to a new one, right? And that's absolutely okay. You need to be adaptable and you need to be flexible when it comes to orienteering. And when things happen, you need to figure out what to do to find the control still as fast as possible, minimize the mistake, but actually we will talk about mistakes probably in one of the other videos.
Yeah.
So that's all for this one. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that subscribe button. If you've liked the video, hit the like down below. And if you didn't like the video, then Hanna will be sad.
Yeah, I will.
Also,
I tried to talk in English.
also let us know if you think that something is missing from this video, and if there are some things that maybe you want to add or comment, then just leave the comment down below. We will always be happy to read on that. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.
Bye!